Hey guys, this is Mr. Call. We're just going to do some more homework help for you. This is homework assignment 2.3, solving basic two-step equations with the box. We have the box here, and it's really helpful. By far, it's the best way I've seen to keep the operations straight, what you're supposed to be doing when we're solving two-step equations. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look. I'm going to start with problem number 4. It's 6x minus 7 equals 35. Again, with the box, we're going to put an x up here on the top because I'm solving for x. We're writing down what's happening to x. So I have 6 times x minus 7 equals 35. So first thing happening to x, if we're kind of valuing what's going on with x, first x is being multiplied by 6. Kind of see that right there, right? 6 times x. So here in the box, I'm going to write times by 6. Then x is being subtracted by 7. That would be the next step if we were to evaluate, if we knew what x was, plugging it in to see what it is. Then we're subtracting by 7. Okay, now to use our chore chart here, or our chore chart, we can just say, hey, wait, as far as chores go, your parents tell you to clean your room, you're going to do the opposite. And in fact, you're going to go bottoms up. So I like to just kind of reiterate, we're going from the bottom to the top, right? And you're going to be, instead of subtracting 7, you're going to add 7, doing the opposite that way. And instead of multiplying by 6, you're going to then divide by 6. So this actually, the box gives us not only the operations we need to do, but also the order. So first step, it says add 7 to both sides. I like to draw the line down here just to make sure I'm doing the same operation to each side of that line, each side of the equal sign. So let's go ahead. We're going to add 7 here and add 7 here. And I get the 6x kind of comes down. The minus 7 plus 7, that adds to 0. That cancels out. And then we have 35 plus 7 is 42. So now the next step, so we added 7 to both sides, just like the box says. We're good, right? Now we need to divide both sides by 6. So I divide by 6, divide by 6, and I get that x equals 7. So again, this box is great. So now we use the box. We added 7 to both sides, then we divided by 6. We're done. We got x equals 7. Yeah. Again, even though a lot of people do not like the box because they have to write, 7 extra things, it is really helpful. Okay, so now as we look at this one, let's see it. This is number 18. Again, we're going to use the box. We're going to write down what's happening to z this time. Z is a variable. Okay, z is first. Z is being multiplied by that negative 15. So I write times by negative 15. Okay, and then z is being added to by 77. So, hey, then we're going to add 77 to it. So now the chore chart, we're doing the opposite, or just the box is what I've also called it. We're just going to do the opposite, which is instead of add 77, I'm going to minus 77. And instead of multiply by negative 15, I'm going to divide by a negative 15. Remember, we go bottoms up, so bottom to the top on this chart. And let's go ahead, let's do it. First step is to minus 77 from both sides. So minus 77, minus 77. And as we write it out, I'm going to get negative 15z to come down here. Now you notice I didn't leave any space for the 77s because, oh yeah, they cancel, right? Then I'm going to take this one. We're going to do negative 28 minus 77, I believe, is negative 105. Then my last step says, oh, and there's an equal sign in between there. Get that there. Okay. Then my last step says, oh, we minus 77 from both sides. And now I'm going to divide by negative 15. So divide by negative 15 to both sides. Divide by negative 15. And I get that x equals, oh, I should type it in because I'm going to forget if I do it. I'm going to make sure. Negative 105 divided by 15, negative 15, is 7. And it's a positive 7. So we had 2 negatives to get a positive there. So there we go. X equals 7. Was that what we had before? Yep. Okay. Just making sure, because I picked all the 7 answers. Last one for this set. Let's look at it. It says, Mr. Call gives his students 5 pieces of candy. How nice of me. Just for showing up to class, plus 2 more pieces of candy for every problem they answer correctly. How many questions do you have to answer correctly to have a total of 35 pieces of candy? Write the equation to represent the situation, then solve. So Mr. Call is nice, and I just say, hey, here's 5 pieces of candy for just showing up. And then I say, plus you get 2 more pieces of candy. 2 pieces of candy. I'll do a C for candy for every problem you answer correctly. And I want to know how many pieces of candy how many questions you need to get right. Ooh, I should do this better. So C doesn't stand for candy. C is for questions. We should change it to a Q. So that would equal the 35 pieces of candy. Sorry about that. Anyways. So now as we're looking at this, we're solving for Q now. Don't have a ton of space up there, so I didn't write it up there. But Q, first thing happening to Q is it's being multiplied by 2, right? So times by 2. Then it is being added to by 5. So plus 5. So now we're going to do the opposite, which is going to be minus by 5 to both sides, and then divide by 2. So remember, we go bottoms up, from the bottom to the top, and we do this. So first thing, we're going to go ahead and take, do minus 5 to both sides. So minus 5 here. Remember, we like to draw the line, minus 5 there. And I get, the 5's cancel, 2Q is left there, equals, now 35 minus 5 is 30. Now my last step here, up here, it says to divide by 2. So divide by 2, divide by 2. And I get that Q equals 15. And look, an answer that's not 7. So yeah, there you go. So now the box really is helpful to organize our thoughts, to know what's happening and what's coming next. And yeah, it works great. So that's it. Hopefully that helped. Thanks. Bye.